Santa Claus Conquers the Martians is widely considered not just one of the worst Christmas movies ever made, but one of the very worst movies ever made. The story of Santa Claus and two children being captured by the leader of the Martians to bring Christmas joy to Mars is definitely a unique idea, but after watching it and experiencing mind-bending scenes like this,
Oh, Kima!
and this, and this, I don't know if I'd agree that it's the worst movie ever made, but the movie is without a doubt bad. But I do have to give credit to where it's due. On the spectrum of bad movies, it crosses over from so bad it's bad to so bad that I think I may be having a fever dream. So that raises the question, how exactly did this bizarre holiday classic come to be? Well, that's what we'll be getting to the bottom of today. This is the story of Santa Claus Conquers the Martians. Our story begins in the 1950s on the set of the Howdy Doody show. This is where a unit manager by the name of Paul L. Jacobson got his start in producing children's entertainment. And as the 1950s rolled into the 1960s and Howdy Doody was finishing its run, Jacobson felt confident that he could create children's entertainment of his own. He felt that there was a gap in the children's entertainment landscape, that other than Disney, there were no movies being made exclusively for kids. As a result, Jacobson got to work on his self-described science fiction Yuletide fantasy in earnest, acting as a producer and making the film through his own production company, Jaller Productions. Incidentally, this movie also seems to be the only movie that was made through Jaller Productions. To bring his story to life, Jacobson brought on a first-time writer by the name of Glenville Marith to flesh out the story, and Nicholas Webster was brought on to direct. Broadway veteran John Call was tapped to play Santa Claus, Bill McCutcheon was brought on to play Droppo, the film's comedic relief, and the cast also featured a young, not yet famous, Pia Zadora. The movie was shot in late July and early August of 1964 over the course of 10 days at the Michael Meyerberg Studio on Long Island, New York, coming in at a total cost of substantially under the film's budget of $200,000. From the limited information available, it paints a picture of a troubled production. The unionized crew members were encouraged to stay longer than their scheduled time, and according to the movie's associate producer, Arnold Leeds, the shoot was plagued with a variety of logistical problems. The movie opened on November 14, 1964 in Chicago, Illinois, before eventually rolling out to theaters nationwide throughout that holiday season. The movie received negative reviews, with some critics putting the movie into the so bad it's good category, but others hating it outright, considering it to be one of the worst movies ever made. But according to the New York Times, the movie reaped a box office bonanza in regular multi-theater booking. From this, we could reasonably assume that the movie broke even. In the years following the movie's release, it was regularly re-released around Christmas time, in addition to being adapted into a comic book in March of 1966. But the movie gained a second life of sorts, decades after its release, when it was aired on Mystery Science Theater 3000 in December of 1991. This newfound interest in the movie sparked two stage adaptations. Santa Claus Conquers the Martians, the musical, opened in 1993 at the Factory Theater in Chicago, and the other, distinctly separate production, opened at the Maverick Theater in Fullerton, California in 2006. Additionally, in February of 1998, rumors began to stir of Universal setting up a remake of the movie to be overseen by David Zucker, the director of Airplane and the creator of the Naked Gun series, with Jim Carrey attached to play Droppo. We can only speculate, but since Carey was set to play him, it's reasonable to assume that Drapo would have had an expanded role from the original film. The project had an estimated 2002 release date, though, obviously, nothing ever became of it. The movie even found new life as a book in 2005, when a comedically bent novelization of the movie's story was released by Penguin Books' Chamberlain Brothers, told from the perspective of Pia Zadora's character, now older, reminiscing about the story of her encounter with Santa Claus and the first Christmas on Mars. Between using name-brand Mark's toy ray guns, technically launching the career of Pia Zadora, and being the first movie to ever depict Mrs. Claus, this movie leaves behind a bizarre yet distinct legacy. But keeping in mind that this was a problematic production headed up by a first-time producer and a first-time writer, a problematic and bizarre B-movie was probably the best version of this movie that we were realistically going to get. If you haven't seen this, it's an absolute trip. If you want some laughs, this movie's easily accessible, go give it a watch. It's in the public domain, at least in America, so it should be very easy to find. But that is the history and legacy of Santa Claus Conquers the Martians. So until next time, thank you so much for watching, have a happy holiday, and stay Hemmas.